was limbs at EasyJet boarding.
Jazz hands.
His head's in the game. He's giving it up.
What can you tell us about this incredible news, Jamie?
Anyone who's mates with PETTA is a mate of mine.
Start again.
Not being cut out.
No, it's been cut out.
Not being cut. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time. I'm back with Harry, Jamie.
How you doing?
No Charlotte this week. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it because she's stuck at work. But yeah, it's just me and the boys this week. Boys, Brighton, the curse is finally broken.
It's over. It's over. To be fair, I think we all tweeted at separate times that we had a gut feeling that we was going to get a result, didn't we?
Did Jamie?
I think Jamie said the same thing on his Twitter. I did see it.
I predicted on the episode last week that we'd draw 2-2. And the reason it's easy saying this now, but the reason I said that is because I had a tentative feeling that we would do well, and I didn't want to predict that we'd win against a team that always batter us.
Yeah.
But yeah, ahead of the game, you obviously put in the group chat, Harry, that you thought West Ham had a good chance of winning today, and I just thought to myself, yeah, I back him. I really fancied it. I was in a theme park on Saturday to take my little sisters around, perpetually getting wet and dry, and the only consistent thing throughout it was that I had the streams going on. So at the moment the Jared Bowen goal went in, I was actually going around a roller coaster. So I shouted louder at that than I did at the actual roller coaster. So
wait, you're going down this roller coaster with your sister, who, am I right in saying, has just got her GCSE results?
Yeah.
You're meant to be there being a big brother and having your bonding time, but you've got Jared Bowen's goal on your phone.
Have you got it in your earphones or?
No. I had the game like this. Like genuinely, I'm like, imagine I'm being thrown around like this. I'm holding it like with my hand, like as hard as I can. Thankfully there was no like loop.
That is commitment to West Ham.
Dedicated fan right there.
It's dedication.
Hey, as soon as we started winning that game, I was like, there's no chance of missing any more of this.
Yeah, well,
you was in an airport.
I was in the airport. It was none of us were at the game, by the way. Jess had a birthday party, didn't you?
Yeah.
That you couldn't miss. One of her best friends. Charlotte couldn't make it either. I was on my way to Benidorm, so I'm boarding this flight. I've seen us with 1-0 up. I'm sort of celebrating at duty free. Then we got to the gate, ready to board. I've got the phone in my hand. I've got Sky Go in my hand. Sort of Bowen scored a second one. I've started celebrating. There's about 6 people around me that started celebrating as well. So it's a flight full of West Ham fans all of a sudden like that. Obviously, you end up sort of this historic moment of beating Brighton. We end up all gathering together around the laptop. Beers from the Costa. I didn't even know Costa done beers, to be honest, but they done Peronis all of a sudden. So we're at this game. Lucky we were delayed, because I think we was all glad we were half delayed because we can watch the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Antonio's twisted and turned, has got the third goal, and the Costa beer's gone everywhere. It was limbs
in the airport
at EasyJet boarding.
I mean, it was just such a class game. I've gone back and watched the full game. Like I've watched it back, like just because I knew it was such a good performance, and it could have been more. It could have been more if we actually finished our dinner. Brighton, in a month of Sundays, they'd expect to win that game. We had 22% possession. They'd expect to obviously bring it, come and play us and beat us. But it was perfect tactics, perfect performance, perfect counter attack. The ball from Rama is orgasmic. The touch from Jared Bowen is like, I don't think I've ever seen a better thing in my life.
Jaredona, isn't it? Like Danny Dyer put on his just like one word, Jaredona. I was like, I love him.
Yeah, imagine your son-in-law like scores that goal. Do you know what I mean?
That's literally the father of his grandchildren that scored that goal. It's mad, isn't it? I know. I can't decide if I have a child, my firstborn, if it's a boy. I can't decide if I want to call him James or Jared, because I'm sorry, James Ward-Prowse's first goal was unbelievable. Like, I love him.
I think it's a dermot.
That's staying in, by the way.
Determination, sorry.
It's not being cut.
No, it's been cut out.
It's not being cut.
Determination of James to
2 feet
play the ball to Antonio, first of all, and then him to get the better of Webster, then run in and get the tap in that he scored. But it was just the way he played that game, spread the ball about. It was unbelievable. But just going off that, I don't know who in the West Ham coaching staff found out about the very late tonight.
Coffee?
I don't know who in the West Ham staff found that weakness in the right-hand side with Milner and Webster, but all of a sudden we was getting behind them in every attack.
No other team have seen that, have they?
No, it was unbelievable.
So West Ham that we figured that out.
Well, you got to realise Brighton were cooking the first 2 games. They're still the team that have scored the most goals in the Premier League. You know what I mean? And they didn't really do enough in the third game. They're still top of the scoring charts. It's crazy, but yeah, like I said, the tactics were spot on. And just going back to James Ward-Prowse, like you say, I think the invention we're seeing from him it's better than what anyone could have ever imagined. You know, I feel like a lot of West Ham fans and a lot of football fans in general were kind of putting their eyebrows up at James Ward-Prowse potentially going for 35, 40 million, but that's looking like a bargain after the first 2 performances he's put in. And yeah, like I'm just excited to see this West Ham team play now. You know, we go to Luton on Friday and we could be top of the Premier League like come Friday evening. It's like these are unprecedented times for West Ham fans, you know.
What do you reckon your score? What's your score prediction? I know we'll come back to Luton later, but what is your score prediction for Luton? How do you reckon we'll do based on our performance against Brighton?
It's a difficult one. Obviously, it's Brighton's first home game, Kenilworth Road.
Luton.
So did I say Brighton?
Yeah.
Shocking. Me and you, Harry. Harry, me and you should start a podcast, mate. Honestly.
Just you guys.
Have a blue
Let me rewind that.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah, Luton. It's their first home game, and I think if they've got any hope of staying in the Premier League this year, it's going to be their home form. So it would be typical West Ham to go to Kenilworth Road and lose, but the way we're playing at the moment, I just can't see anything but a West Ham win. I'm going to go big, and I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0. And go on, 3-0 on your goal scorers then, Jamie. Who's scoring?
Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Antonio again, and then I'm going to go one of our centre-backs. I think James Ward-Prowse is going to get another assist. I'm going to go... I think Zuma. I think Zuma's going to get a goal for us.
That was. Do you know what? That was my exact scorecast.
Was it?
Yeah, the 3 players and the goals.
And a 3-0.
I think and 3-0. I think it's just going to suit us down to a T Friday. I think they're going to have to come out and attack. It's their first home game, and we're just going to hit them on the break. And I think with our pace, with obviously Kudus coming, we're going to speak about him a bit later on. But with him coming in, Ben Brahma, Jared Bowen, Antonio, we've got this attacking sort of 3 or 4 now that can really hurt teams, and I think that's gonna hurt Luton. What I've seen of them so far is they've been terrible.
Well, I'm backing the boys, so obviously I've learned from my Chelsea mistakes. Okay, all right, boys, I apologise. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking. I was obviously thinking of West Ham last season, but we are a changed team, so I think we might win.
I thought you were going to say we might lose, honestly.
No. Well, I don't know. I'm on the fence. No. I think we're going to win. I'm going 4-1. I reckon we've got this. What about our possession, though? Because you was talking to me earlier about our possession going down and down and down and down and down.
I was just reading about it, Joe. I think we had 35% against Bournemouth, 24 against Chelsea, and I think it was something like 18 against Brighton. So the possession-wise is going down each game, but the results just seem to be getting better and better.
Well, it's an interesting one because, Bournemouth could have gone either way, and the other 2 games we probably go into underdogs. So it'll be interesting to see how West Ham play against a side when we probably are going to have the lion's share of possession. It's a weird one. You know, it's all about what you do with the ball, isn't it? And obviously we're doing enough of it at the moment, being clinical enough to get the 3 points each game. As to how sustainable that is, it is worrying when you see 22% possession against Brighton. But it's Luton. We have to be confident against Luton, you know?
Right, guys, a new big signing, the Mohamed Kudus. How excited are you? How excited? Scale 1 to 10, Jay. I know you've been talking about, you've made videos of them. You've talked about him so much the last couple of weeks before we signed him.
He's an expert. He's a Kudus expert.
He's finally a West Ham player.
Do you know what? It's so weird to go into a West Ham season and feel like we've got depth in this side now. And I'm intrigued by the Kudus signing. I really am, because, I mean, he signed for Ajax as like a number 6 and ended up as a number 9. He was like a false 9 for them. And I really don't know where he plays in this West Ham side, but I think he can play in multiple positions. And that's so invaluable for us. I think that versatility, being able to play across arguably the front line and then in multiple midfield positions, it just adds another dimension to us. I keep saying that whenever you sign a player, but they're such promising signings, you know. You look at how strong we've been this season, and you add in like a player that's already performed at the highest level in the Champions League, scoring worldy goals against Liverpool, going to Qatar and dragging his country by the scruff of their neck through games. You know, like he scored big goals. He scored big goals in big moments. He was pivotal for Ajax last year in a poor side. It's just such an exciting signing for us.
He's versatile. That's why I say he suits Moyes down to a T. He can play anywhere, like you said, across the front line. He can play midfield. He can play everywhere. That's why I think Moyes is a big fan of that. He loves players who can just not play in one position.
Yeah.
So how do we set up then with Kudus in the team? Like, what do we reckon our best?
For me, he comes in for Ben
Benrahma.
I don't think Benrahma is consistent enough. I know he had a good game Saturday, but he hasn't got that finished product. He can't finish his dinner sometimes, to be honest. On his day, he's unplayable, but we don't see that enough from him. Kudus, a lot more consistent. He's a lot more direct. He's much more of a player that is going to cause defenders all sorts of problems. Him and Bowen running at the fullbacks either side is going to cause some teams problems this season.
Yeah, you say he replaces Benrahma, but I don't know if he's ever played on the left. So it'll be intriguing to see if he's got the capability to do that, you know.
But he is both-footed, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. But like I say, he's predominantly always played on the right-hand side, and I know he's played a lot. He's played centrally a lot. So that's why I'm confused with where he could go. I don't know if I see him more as competition for Antonio or as in his predominant position as a competition for Bowen. And then you see us linked with other forwards. It's an interesting one. I genuinely could not call, and I wouldn't feel comfortable even putting money on what position he would play in, because I feel like he can play in so many. I think he played like 6 different positions in his time across, at Ajax, and that versatility was, has been pivotal in him getting the big move into a European club. Though, I say, or to a big.
That's brilliant, isn't it? It's exactly what we need at West Ham.
There's a question for you both of you. Do you start him on Friday?
Or do you start Benrahma? That's the thing. Is it him or Benny that starts? Because Souček, am I right in saying that Souček misses this game?
Souček, I think he went off on Saturday with a concussion. I think he's ruled out of this game. So there's potential he could come into the side 100%. But the team's performing so well right now. I don't even know if I'd want to disrupt it too much. Having the option of, we haven't seen Mavropanos yet either. So I know Kudus started training this week. He's only been in a couple of days. So whether he's even ready to start a game, I'm not even sure. But, the last game he played for Ajax, scored a hat trick. It's just such an exciting signing. And it's one of those signings that you see fans of other clubs like excited by it. I've got like friends that are Chelsea fans, and they're annoyed that they didn't get Kudus. But my best mate's of Ghanaian descent, and he's a Chelsea fan, and he's going on Sky Sports talking about how gutted he is that he hasn't signed him. So I'm just so excited. But would I start him? Probably not. Ease him in, and then as soon as someone's performance drops a little bit, bring him on, go score a hat trick. It's Luton.
It's not a bad player to bring on in the second half against Luton, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
What a welcome to the Premier League for him. Like, welcome to the biggest league in the world, and he gets to start at Luton or come on at Luton. I wonder even what the away dressing dressing rooms are like.
I think they've had to spend a bit of money to do it up, haven't they? To have it to Premier League.
Yeah, what did they spend the money on? Do we know specifically what they did?
I think it was a new stand, new floodlights. They might have done up facilities a bit. I'm not really sure how much they've done.
I'm so excited for the behind the scenes documentaries that we're going to get on Luton, and this first game especially. It's going to be fascinating, isn't it? We've been linked to, what's his name today as well?
Was it Yuri Alberto?
He's Paqueta's mate, isn't he?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this incredible news, Jamie?
Anyone who's mates with Paqueta is a mate of mine. That's all.
Bring him in. Anything to keep that sexy Brazilian man happy, honestly.
Exactly. When I see, I can't even explain how happy I am when I see Paqueta walking about in training with Naya Aguerd having a hug. Him, Emerson and Naya Aguerd getting a hug of each other. When I see a happy Paqueta, I'm a happy Jamie. So if we need to bring his cousin in, anyone he knows, anyone he's mates with over from Brazil, give him a 3-year deal just to keep the man at the club.
How many times, because obviously we worked together at Copper, didn't we? How many times did you watch that video that West Ham posted of him doing the... He played it about 15 times in the office, you know?
Is that the one where he's dancing with his wife?
No, the one where he scores the goal and then he literally runs into the corner flag. This is against Chelsea. And Jamie watched it about... And anyone that would come into the kitchen to make a cup of tea, he'd be like, oh, guys, have you seen this video?
Honestly... West Ham, and I know I'm biased, West Ham make the best content in the Premier League, 100%.
They've really upped their game, haven't they?
The content they make is different class. Like the photography, the videography, like the new podcast that they're doing is all such high level. And it's like, you know, I'm a fan, but I also work in a football media company where I can look at it and be like, this is top quality content. And that slow motion video of PETTA scoring the penalty a few days after, you know, he's had the headlines going before the game. People are going, oh, his head's turned. His head's not in the game. His head's in the game. He's given.
Look at him.
Can we get a few groups?
Yeah, go on. Try and replicate it. Go on. How does it go, Jamie? You've watched it enough time. Go on.
It looks like he's like playing for the All Blacks and doing.
Yeah, he did like doing the hacker, isn't it? But it's just that tune as well, everything about him. I love PETTA, and I'll be really excited to see his mate join, like you say. I think if we can do anything to keep him happy, and just bring again more squad depth, isn't it? It's just having more players.
Let's talk about West Ham and South American strikers for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, go on. Yeah, you know about this.
We haven't had any luck recently, or in the last few years, with Sullivan in charge with South American strikers. Should we name a few? Brian Montenegro, if you don't remember him, Joe.
Benny McCarthy.
Wellington Paulista.
Oh, sorry. Are we doing just South American strikers?
Just doing South American with the. I'm thinking of Zarate.
Yeah. Javier Hernandez.
Yeah. Enna Valencia.
Oh, Enna Valencia was class, though. I did like him.
I think they do seem to get better. I mean, we've ended up with Carlos Tevez at one point, so they do seem to get better over the years, but we did end up with some really, really poor ones.
Yeah. Caleri.
Jonathan Caleri, yeah.
Yeah, we've had quite a few.
I mean, in Tim we trust. Really,
Tim and his plane. Tim and his plane have got Wingham of the Year, in my opinion.
If he's bringing over the next Sergio Aguero, then we're all for it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we've heard that, wasn't it West Ham that turned down signing Alvarez?
Yeah, I think that was more Moyes than actually anyone else, wasn't it?
Tim. In Tim we trust. I think anyone that Tim wants to pop on his plane and bring over is obviously a great signing. I just feel sorry for James, like you said the other day. James Ward-Prowse is the only one who hasn't had a picture in the plane,
I thought, sorry, he could have gone plane from Southampton Airport to Stanton. At least got him on there. If it was if it was a commercial flight, we would have done him, I think.
Well, it isn't being spoken about enough, actually, thinking about talking about the Brazilian links and everything. I know Rob Newman went out there last year, didn't he? And had the notoriously gave all the Brazilian clubs an out-of-date West Ham shirt. He went out there, gave them all home shirts, but it was the old home shirt. So Rob Newman went out there last year, and obviously I think he was the reason behind signing players like Luis Zhao, the young centre-back that we've got in the club right now. So I think a lot of the players that we're being linked with now have been under our radar for a lot as well. And then we've also got new targets that Tim Stighton is obviously, bringing to the table. But yeah, what a time to be a West Ham fan, though.
It's great, isn't it? It's just so nice. I just feel like the energy's just everyone's happy. Everyone's just makes such a difference, doesn't it, when West Ham are doing well?
Everyone was going into the season worried. We didn't know where the points were going to come from. It was a hard start. I mean, Chelsea at home, Brighton away.
Yeah,
like we didn't know where the points was going to come from. But the fact that we beat both now, we're looking at Luton away this Friday.
And we're second in the league.
Second league, and we've got Sheffield United at home coming up. Liverpool away. They're not playing great at the moment. We can sort of take something from there, and it's all looking very positive at the moment.
Question: what West Ham players are we putting in our fantasy team? Because I think I need a reshuffle, because I've got Areola and he's been in my squad right since week one. But I feel like I should be including who else?
I think you got to have Bowen and James Ward-Prowse in there.
Do you reckon? Who have you got, Jamie?
I've had Zuma since week one.
Have you? How many points has he given you? Do you know on average?
On the bench, I wouldn't know. So if I was going to bring anyone in,
yeah, go on.
Bowen, he's your goal scorer. but I am tempted to give Kudus a chance as well. I think it's like 6.5 million when it comes to value. So,
is he?
Yeah, I don't think you can look past James Ward-Prowse. I mean, he's always
so many points.
He's always going to get you assists.
Yeah, true.
He's going to be in every corner, every free kick. We've got some big boys coming at the centre back, and we. I mean, he's even starting to chip in with a few goals now, so I don't think you can look past James Ward-Prowse.
He's done well for you, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You've overtaken me since you've had him in your team.
I've done well there, I think.
That was a great little transfer. Anyway, does anyone else want to do the outro? Harry, do you fancy doing the outro? Like, thanks for watching.
Yeah, you nailed it last time, Harry, when you were doing that.
Yeah, go on.
For what?
Go on, Harry. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching, everyone. Jazz hands.
Right, that is episode 3 of Stoppage Time. Thanks for joining us, guys. I've been Harry. This has been Jess. That's been Jamie. Please like, subscribe, and join us next week. Thanks, guys. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, Lions. He gave it a ta-ra.